The most dangerous footballer alive isn't real. He plays for no country. He won't appear on any World Cup 2026 squad. And that's exactly why his psychology matters more than anyone you'll watch this summer. This video is about the specific thing that separates the most dangerous players from everyone else. Not talent, not work ethic, not love for the game. Something colder than all of those things. Here's what makes Rin specific. He doesn't warm up to the intensity. He starts there. Every match, every opponent, every moment of friction. Already at full competitive operation before the first touch. Other characters in Blue Lock describe him as machine-like. Not as an insult, as an observation about something they can feel when they play against him. And to understand why that quality exists, and why it doesn't exist in any player you'll watch this summer, you need to understand what the conventional model of elite drive looks like at its highest level. Because Rin's drive isn't the conventional model, and the difference only becomes visible when you put both of them in the same frame. The most documented case of the conventional model in football history. 2 decades, thousands of hours of documented obsessive preparation, a career built entirely around the pursuit of records, trophies, individual achievement, the hunger for more always present, always visible. And here is the specific problem with that model. Not as a criticism, as a structural observation about what drive built around achieving things requires to keep running. When you compete to achieve something, when the drive runs toward a goal, a record, a version of yourself you're chasing, there's a moment when you arrive. An arrival does something to drive that nothing in the training or the preparation can prevent. It satisfies it. Not permanently, not completely, but every achievement, every record broken, every trophy added, each one delivers a dose of the thing the drive was running on. The hunger is fed, even if briefly, and fed hunger is quieter than hungry hunger. That's not a flaw in Ronaldo's character. That's just how drive built around achieving things works. It needs to arrive somewhere, and every arrival delivers something. A moment of completion. Watch Rin in the equivalent moment. There is no arrival. Not because he doesn't care, because the thing he's running on doesn't have a destination that satisfies it. He's not chasing something. You felt a version of that Ronaldo moment. Not necessarily in football, but the moment after achieving something you worked hard for, and the quiet that followed. The hunger that was supposed to stay loud had gone somewhere. Just briefly, just enough to notice. That's not weakness. That's what happens when drive has a direction, toward something, and that something gets reached. Rin's drive doesn't have that direction, and understanding why and what direction it does have is the specific thing this video is built around. The hunger runs out, not because it was fake, because satisfaction is real, and it does what satisfaction does. Rin's doesn't run out. The question is, why? Two of the most dangerous players in their respective worlds, one real, one fictional, both on an extreme very few people reach. Only one of them has solved the satisfaction problem, and the solution, when you see it clearly, is more unsettling than you'd expect. Here's what makes Rin different from every other player in Blue Lock. Not his technical ability, not his vision, not the hours of work, the direction of his drive. Every other elite competitor in that tournament this summer, every player who made a World Cup 2026 squad, their drive runs toward something. A trophy, a record, a version of themselves they're chasing. The drive has a destination. Rin's drive doesn't run toward anything. He competes to remove. Watch what Rin is actually doing here. He's not trying to beat this player. He's trying to make it so this player is never in front of him again. Those are not the same goal. One produces a result, one produces a permanent rearrangement of who belongs at this level. And here's why that distinction is the specific thing that solves the satisfaction problem. When your drive runs towards something, you can arrive. The thing you were chasing exists. You reach it, satisfaction enters. When your drive runs against everyone who shouldn't be standing next to you, you can never arrive, because arrival would require a moment where no one beneath your standard is left. That moment never comes. Every opponent eliminated just reveals the next one who needs to be removed. The standard never settles. The drive never satisfies. But here's what makes this more than a fictional observation. Lamine Yamal is 18 years old. He is heading into the World Cup 2026 as one of the most feared attacking players in international football. Watch how he moves with the ball. There's no joy in it. There's precision, cold efficiency, the opposition as a problem to be solved rather than a contest to be enjoyed. Rin operates identically. The difference in Rin is he's never pretended it's about anything other than removal. The direction of the drive towards something or against everyone who doesn't belong is the line that separates dangerous from elite. The most important question this video is building toward isn't about the drive itself, it's about where it came from. Because this wasn't how Rin was born, this was built, specifically in response to something specific. And understanding what built it is what changes what you think elite competitive drive actually is. Two directions of drive. One has a ceiling, the moment you arrive at what you were chasing. One doesn't, and the one that doesn't was built from something. That's where this goes next. There is a specific moment in Rin's history that explains everything. Not a match, not a training sequence, a conversation. Itoshi, Rin's older brother, they made a promise when they were young to become the two best strikers in the world together. Rin didn't just admire Sai. Sai was the reason Rin started playing football. The whole point of every hour of training was to one day stand next to his brother on the world stage. And when Sai left for Spain and experienced football at the world level, he changed. He decided he wanted to be the best midfielder in the world, not the best striker. The shared dream was gone. Watch what happens when Sai doesn't just change positions. He beats Rin in a one-on-one, and then he tells him, "Stop playing football because of me. You have no value. Disappear from my life." In one conversation, four things collapsed at the same time. The shared dream was gone. The relationship was gone. The standard setter had just proven Rin couldn't reach him. And the reason Rin started playing football, to be next to his brother on the world stage, was gone. What remained was the drive. Nowhere to go. He couldn't chase Sai anymore. Sai told him to stop. So the drive that was built for chasing had nowhere left to go. It turned outward, against the field, against everyone who doesn't belong, permanently. There's a version of that construction you might recognize. Not necessarily a sibling, not necessarily football, but the specific experience of measuring yourself against someone, a person whose level became the only measurement that felt real, and then the person not just leaving, but telling you that you have no value without them. And what that does to the drive afterward. The drive doesn't disappear, it changes direction. Look at what the construction produces. Other characters in Blue Lock don't describe Rin as passionate. They don't describe him as hungry in the way that they describe players who want to win. They described him as operating at a level where emotional fluctuation, the kind that comes from dissatisfaction or disappointment, is simply absent. Not suppressed, absent. Because the drive he's running on doesn't produce those fluctuations. When the drive runs against everyone who doesn't belong, every match, every opponent, every moment of friction is just more evidence that someone hasn't been removed yet. There's no high when you perform well, because performing well just confirms what you decided was true. There's no low when things go wrong, because difficulty is just the field telling you someone is still there who shouldn't be. That's not a damaged psychology, that's an engine. And here's what that engine produces that no achievement-based drive can replicate. A standard that has no ceiling, not because Rin is delusional about his level, Because the standard is defined by whoever is still standing next to him. And there's always someone still standing next to him. Ronaldo's standard is a record he's trying to break. When he breaks it, even briefly, the standard is met. Satisfaction enters. Rin's standard is everyone who hasn't been removed yet. That standard can never be fully met, which means the drive can never fully satisfy, which means it never stops. And now, the question the whole video has been building toward. What does it mean that a fictional character illustrates this more clearly than any real player in that World Cup tournament this summer? It means the most important thing about elite competitive drive isn't visible in the players you can watch. It's visible in what those players are running on underneath. And Rin, because he's fiction, never had to hide it. Here's the mechanism at its most precise. Rin isn't more motivated than the players heading into the World Cup 2026 this summer. He isn't more talented. He isn't more disciplined. He isn't hungrier in the conventional sense of the word. He is immune to something they aren't. Every player who made a World Cup 2026 squad got there by running their drive towards something. A dream, a target, a version of themselves they were chasing. That drive is real. It produced real results. It got them there. And it has one vulnerability. Can't be satisfied. Not permanently, not completely. But every arrival, every record broken, every tournament won, every level reached delivers a dose of the thing the drive was built to reach. And a drive that gets what it was built for goes quieter. Even briefly. Even just enough to notice. Rin's drive was built for something that can never be delivered. The complete removal of everyone who doesn't belong at his level. That completion doesn't exist because the field always has someone still standing in it. Which means the drive never gets what it was built for. Which means it never goes quiet. Which means it never stops. So here's what this video is actually handing you. Not a model to copy, not a prescription of how to compete. A name for something you've probably already felt. The competitive hunger that goes quiet after you achieve something isn't a character flaw. It isn't a weakness. It isn't a sign that the drive was never real. It's what happens when the drive has a direction towards something, and that something gets reached. The hunger was to build to arrive somewhere. It arrived, it went quiet. Rin's hunger was never built to arrive. Not because he's broken, because the wound that destroyed his foundation created a specific way of competing that satisfaction literally cannot enter. Every player in that tournament this summer is chasing something. A trophy, a legacy, a moment that makes the years of work mean something. Those are real goals, real drive, real hunger. And none of them have what Rin has. An engine that satisfaction cannot reach. That's not a gift. That's not a personality trait. That's a specific way of competing built from a specific wound. And it produces something that no amount of wanting, working, or love for the game can replicate. A drive with no ceiling because it has no finish line. The most dangerous footballer alive isn't on any World Cup 2026 squad. He doesn't chase anything. He removes everyone who doesn't belong. And that distinction between chasing and removing is the line between dangerous and elite. If you felt the hunger go quiet after achieving something and never had a name for what that was, there's something I want you to do before you close this video. We built a free anime archetype quiz that identifies your specific character based on how you actually operate. Not how you want to operate, how you currently operate. The reason it matters after this video, Rin's competitive orientation isn't where everyone starts. Your archetype shows you exactly where your competitive drive is currently anchored, and the most direct way to understand what it's running on. Not from Rin's starting point, from yours. The link is in the description. It takes 2 minutes. Rin doesn't chase anything. He removes everyone who doesn't belong. That's the most dangerous footballer alive. Till next time, crew. Under the glow of stars, we forge our future together. Captain Gio Bravo, signing off. Peace.